Hi, I'm Stephen John Drew from Better Podcasting, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network. Just like the show you're listening to now, the opinions expressed are those of the individual hosts. Check out all the other geeky podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode, it would help if I remember the episode count, episode 414 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, August 16th, 2020. I'm Chris. Joining me, as per the usual, my regular co-hosts and partners in crime. We'll start first with one Willie D. Nelson.
Hey, that's me. Hey. How's it going, everybody? You doing good?
Him.
Say what?
I said that is him.
That is me.
Mm-hmm. We know your name.
Oh, I don't know if I should be happy or sad about that.
Yeah. Speaking of things you should be happy about, joining us today also, one Mr. Anthony Bachman.
Welcome to America, the sunken place.
You're supposed to be happy today, guys. Happy.
Can't make me.
It's Sunday. We got
wait.
internet bullcrap to talk about.
Is today like a holiday or something? Am I missing something? Is tomorrow a holiday?
I don't think we have any holidays coming up until like September.
All holidays have been canceled.
I just don't remember, man. I'm just asking. My memory's terrible. It's like, shit, I fucking forget like a holiday that's supposed to be today. It's supposed to be celebrous.
Willie's been celebrating A-Day for like 2 weeks now.
Celebrating what?
A-Day. You've been playing the
A-Day.
Avengers Beta. It's all about A-Day and the fallout of A-Day.
Oh.
Come on now.
I'm not ready to praise it, but I mean it is a fun game.
I got to play it some, and we can touch on it later, but I have my concerns, but I'm willing to continue to be optimistic on it.
Yeah, A-Day, when you take a Inhumans event and mix it with part of season 4 of Heroes from NBC, yeah.
I don't remember much past season 2 of Heroes at this point in time. That was one of those shows I kept watching and went, why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself? It was so good.
No.
No.
That was when you watched Heroes Reborn. That's when you started asking that.
No, I think near the end of Heroes Run there, when it was all just falling apart, I was like, why am I still watching this? It's like when I got 4 episodes into The Cape and went, why am I still watching this?
Hey.
I got into the first episode of that. I'm like,
Cape.
wow,
The Cape,
I'm not watching this
The
no more.
only good thing about The Cape, okay, 2 good things. 1, Keith David's
Careful.
in it. 2, it spawned a big gag in Community. Other than that, there's nothing good about The Cape.
Cape is awesome.
So why'd you
David
keep
Lyons
watching
kicks
it?
I don't
ass.
know. That's why I asked myself that. I was like, why am I watching this still? I guess I
Vinnie
kept hoping.
Jones as
No.
an alligator skin gangster in a silk suit was awesome.
I guess I just kept hoping it would get good, and it never did.
Now, what was the basis for the Cape? Like, how did he get his powers again?
He got bit by a radioactive cape.
I don't believe that for a hot second.
No, he did not.
So it
With
pretty
great
much has
fashion
spawn
comes
powers.
great cape powers.
No, it's a cop who read stories about a cape superhero to his kid, and then when like a private police force ends up taking over his town, he gets shot and supposedly killed. He gets found by carnival workers, which is where Keith David comes in.
Jesus.
And Keith David is like the ringmaster who at one point was a magician, and part of his act was this cape that is basically got superpowers. And so the cop ends up using the cape to become the cape superhero and try to get the town back.
I might be mixing it up with some other show that I was like, oh god, I do not like this. I might actually want to try it now.
I don't know
That
you
description
can
actually
try
sounds
it
pretty good.
anywhere. I don't even know. It might be streaming on Peacock since NBC owns it. I don't know.
It should, yeah. It was just one season.
Not those cocks.
I see what you did there. I'm
Yeah,
looking
I
to
actually
see if I
just-
can find it for you, Willie.
I actually just gave my DVD box set of the cape to my friend to watch.
Oh, I'm not asking for it. I was
Because they hadn't seen it.
slightly curious.
You can find it streaming on the NBC app, not necessarily Peacock. It says NBC, the USA app, or you can buy season 1, the only season, on Amazon, Google Play, or Vudu.
the USA app?
Yes.
Are you?
As in the
oh my
cable
God.
channel.
I know. Wait. Did you say the website or the app?
Evidently, it's also on the website. Everything of the Cape, it appears is streaming for free on the NBC website. I just clicked the link, and it has the very first episode, and it looks like all of season 1 is on there.
No. I'm literally asking. Did you say USA has an app or did it have a website? I can't remember
They
what
have
you said.
both. I think I might have said
Oh
app,
my! And
but
why does USA have an app? So that's what I was getting at.
Everyone has an app.
Because characters are welcome.
Characters can get the fuck out of my fucking. I'm
They
not
have- They have
gonna.
19 seasons of Psych. Why wouldn't they have an app?
And Suits and all sorts of stuff. Burn Notice.
Burn
Michael
Notice.
Weston. He used to be a spy
Was that a USA show?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh.
with the chin.
Was that the one with
himself.
the? Yeah, I was about to say that's what I was gonna ask. It
It's
was
got the
Bruce
chin in
Campbell
it.
part.
It was a
Yeah.
good show.
Yeah, USA's got like a couple 100,000 episodes of original content. Why wouldn't they have an app?
I mean, let's go back to La Femme Nikita.
yeah, they
Yeah.
did all sorts of shows. Good or bad, they put a lot of different stuff on that channel to try things out.
Duckman. I remember seeing that for the first time on there.
Monk was USA, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, that was like
What?
6 seasons.
No one's gonna mention Duckman.
Oh,
No one
the fuck
remembers
you talking
that?
About Duck, man.
I don't remember that one. I'm sorry, Willie.
Oh my god, it was an animated thing with Jason Alexander as like the lead voice of Duckman. He was just a private eye. It was super fucking wacky animated thing. It was kind of adult oriented, not like adult because it's USA, but as much adult as they could get away with. Kind of like a Adult Swim humor.
Let's see. What do they have on USA Network? Original dramas. I've not heard of Queen of the South or The Sinner or Dirty John. That doesn't help. I think we can just skip all of their reality TV show other than the fact they have something on there called Cannonball, and I wonder if they're doing their own Cannonball run with that. We can start.
I remember Spike did that at one time.
Let's see. Former programming, scripted programming, the 4400, Burn Notice,
There you go.
Colony, Covert Affairs. I'm skipping through just things that I recognize. Graceland, The Hitchhiker, La Femme Nikita, Law and Order Criminal Intent was a USA original, I guess. They had a Law and Order. Mr. Robot.
Oh yeah,
Lots of people like that one.
Rami Malek.
Royal Pains. That one was pretty popular. They have the TV adaptation of Shooter, or had. I guess it's closed down.
There was one.
There was.
Yeah, they turned it into a series.
Suits, The Purge, Treadstone, Traffic, Weird
The
Science,
Purge?
a TV show.
Oh, Weird Science TV show. I remember
Yeah.
that back in the 90s.
They had white collar animated comedies, Duckman, 94 to 97.
Told you.
Let's see, other original programming. They got a bunch of stuff on here. I haven't heard of some of this. Most of their other original programming I haven't heard of as I'm scrolling through it.
Yeah, they had a lot of shows.
Plus, they have a
But-
bunch of sports on there at one point in time, too.
But I guess my point is, I don't want to get a fucking app for it.
Why?
Even still.
As long as theirs doesn't work that you subscribe just to USA. It's if you have a cable TV or a streaming subscription that would give you access to USA, then you stream through their app if you want to. So it's not like it's an
Alright.
extra cost. It's a secondary feature of your subscription.
Kind of like how HBO, I forget which one it was now, I think it was, or Go. One of them is a subscription thing.
HBO Go, you got complimentary with your HBO subscription so that basically you could give it to your friends to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And no one gave one to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Willie. But you got HBO Max now, so you're good.
I do. Where's the Snyder Cut coming out?
Next year, I think? I don't know.
Oh, damn! I thought it was soon, like a month or so.
No, we don't get good things in 2020, Willie. If there's
No.
anything we've learned, 8 months through 2020, we don't get good things.
We got Doom Patrol season 2.
I can't tell you whether that's good or bad. I haven't watched it yet.
It's very good, although they had to end an episode early because of what else happened in 2020.
Because of the
They didn't
Rona?
get to finish it. Yeah, they didn't get to finish it. So they kind of made a makeshift. What is it called?
I mean, I guess the only good thing we've got coming anytime soon in 2020 is they're going to try and release the New Mutants in theaters so we can laugh at it as it flops spectacularly.
Wait, they're really doing that?
August 27th, I think New Mutants comes out in theaters.
Are theaters going to be open by then?
Some. That's why I'm looking at it and going, here's an easy way to dump that movie and be like, it failed because the theaters were closed, not because we kept it in our back pocket for 4 years because it was shitty and we kept trying to redo it.
Well, Disney's probably like, well, we got this movie finished. Let's just make some money off of it.
Just put it on Disney Plus, then if people can willingly choose whether they want to inflict it upon themselves.
Hopefully not for $30.
Well,
Oh,
so
we're talking
far,
about the end of the streak.
That's kind of
streak.
sad that it's that shitty movie that's going to ruin your streak.
Yep. 56 movies in a row from Marvel I've seen on opening day. And it's going to end because they're putting New Mutants out this month. And I'm not willing to die to go to a theater to see New Mutants this month.
So we could just buy you a bubble and you could just kind of like wheel yourself in there in the bubble. You could be
Bubble Boy was such a good movie. Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah. So if we get you a bubble, you can continue the streak.
Even Machete was in there.
I like this plan. Get Bachman a bubble.
All things are better with Machete.
Then you'll find love by the end of it. Oh, it'll be nice. And then you'll come out of the bubble and everything will be all right.
That's not happening.
Oh.
Come out of the bubble and the fucking country's still going to be on fire.
Listen, I stopped talking about you a while back. I'm talking about Bubble Boy, so shut the fuck up and listen to the goddamn story. Bubble Boy, great fucking movie. One of the greatest movies of the early 2000s. Oh my god, I love Bubble Boy.
Tell us more, Willie. Tell us more about Bubble Boy.
Too bad his parents kind of ended up in like a motorbiker threesome type thing with Machete. Machete. There we go. That was a little awkward, but it worked for the story. And he also made so many friends along the way. Watch Bubble Boy. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Tell us more about Bubble Boy, Willie. It's the greatest movie from the 2000s, I'm told.
Early 2000s. And don't try and do this to me right now, because I've said what I said, and that's all I'm going to say, because I want there to be mystery about Bubble Boy, so go watch it.
Tell us more, Willie. We must know more about Bubble Boy.
Chris, did you? I thought I heard you say something. It was hard to hear you with that dick in your mouth. Pull it out first before you talk, man. It's a little hard. How to hear you, not the dick, because I already know that's hard because it's in your mouth.
He says, as I'm on camera, literally just kind of giving him a weird look for those of you that are on the audio podcast only.
You want to show the people that? All right, that's on you, buddy.
YouTube.com/Gonna Geek. You can see for yourself that Willie is spitting falseness.
I believe that camera was on me for a while there, and only me.
I don't know what you're talking about, Willie.
It's slightly off camera.
Now,
that's really someone dressed as Spider-Man down there. That's not a statue anymore.
And now we return to our special Bubble Boy correspondent, one Willie D. Nelson, to tell us more about Bubble Boy.
It's a great movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, Machete, and I can't remember anyone else who's in it. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
You're doing a very good job of painting why this is one of the best movies of the early 2000s right now, Willie.
It's not up for me to tell you why it's great. It's up to you to experience it, to find the greatness yourself.
Make your case, Willie.
That's where I just made it. I keep making my case.
You're not making a case. You're saying it's up to me to decide. That's not making the case. You're just saying, here's the actors that are in it, and you make your own decision.
I don't want to steal that specialness from other people.
Yes,
all right?
I'm sure there's a lot of specialness associated with Bubble Boy for the vast majority.
There is. There's so much specialness. Why are you doing this to me?
I'm just doubling down on ridiculousness. I apologize.
I don't understand. It's not working.
I'm entertained. I mean, so at least 30% of the audience is entertained right now.
How many movies have you seen that have Beetlejuice in it?
One at least.
And I'm not talking about the movie Beetlejuice. I'm talking about, was his real name Beetlejuice? The little short guy from Howard Stern.
Yeah. I thought you meant like Beetlejuice.
I know what you meant.
Like Beetlejuice, and then he appears.
It's spelled the same way.
Well, yes, they kind
I
of ripped
think.
it off from the TV show / movie, because there
You
was a
also have
cartoon.
Vern
of
Troyer
Beetlejuice.
in there. Zach Galifianakis is in it. Since you're making me look shit up, I'm not appreciative of that. Fabio's in it.
Oh
Of
boy,
course,
Fabio's in it.
you're goddamn right, Fabio's in it.
I can't believe
Well,
it's not butter, Willie.
the Sklar brothers are in it.
What's the Rotten Tomatoes score of Bubble Boy, Willie?
I don't even care. I'm not even gonna look. Not even gonna look because it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna look, and then I'm gonna transition to something else because I think I've killed this segment.
Yes, you killed it 10 minutes ago, you son of a bitch.
I'm just making you live with the consequences of your actions.
Have you seen the movie?
No. It was 2001.
I know. I said early 2000. Have you seen the movie, Chris?
No.
You haven't seen the movie and you're criticizing it?
Yes.
Just like a normal critic.
Speaking of the critics, it has a 84 total reviews on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics with an astounding 31% freshness.
And user reviews.
48% on the audience
That's what
score.
I thought.
That's still a failing grade, Willie.
Listen, I'm sorry people don't have taste.
Willie, more than half the people that watched the movie didn't like it.
Yeah, once again, I'm sorry people didn't have taste. They didn't understand it. Came out at such a weird time, but now, if people watch it now, they would understand, because at the time period, it fits that kind of comedy vibe of that early 2000s feel.
The critics'
And
consensus.
people understand it now.
The consensus
Fuck
is that
critics.
Bubble Boy bounces along with lame, offensive jokes that are more
You know,
tasteless
I'm gonna
than
stop you
funny.
right here. No. Stop. I want to tell you something why I feel about movie critics right now. Something that fucking pissed me off. And this is the moment I really started hating movie critics. It was way back, a morning show, a local radio morning show I listened to. They had a movie critic named Mark Berger. I fucking hate that guy. I used to love him before this moment.
Live from the ATGN studios on
Are you seriously doing this?
internet. It's the news.
No, not serious. I'm sorry, Willie.
Are you seriously playing out this anger? All right, because I'm still going no matter what. So Mark Berger, this asshole movie critic. I went to go see a movie in theaters. I thought it was going to be good. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone that has, what's his name from The Office? What's his nuts?
Steve Carell.
Yeah, Steve Carell. Yeah, he was in it. And Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi couldn't even save this movie. It was so terrible. I was like, I wasted money to go see this. I hate this movie with a passion because the trailer made it look good and funny, and it was not. Jim Carrey's in it. He didn't save it. It's just that bad. It was badly written. It's not. It's no actor's fault because it's not their fault. The bad script and the bad source material. It's just terrible. And then Mark Berger comes over there and gives it 3 out of 4 stars, telling people to go watch it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You gotta be shitting me. Fuck you, Mark Berger. You're out of here. I don't give a shit what critics say anymore.
So you're just mad because the critic liked the movie you didn't like?
No, the fact that he gave it such a high score, I gave it a 0. This is nothing. This is like, I wish I never saw this
That's
movie.
a difference of opinion. That's not a reason to hate a critic.
No, it was a bad movie. This is no subjectiveness
No,
to
I'll
this.
give
It
you
was
a reason to
bad.
hate a critic. The woman that wrote the movie reviews for the Navy Times at Great Lakes when I was there reviewed Con Air off of the trailer without actually seeing the movie because she referenced things that she disliked about the movie that were in the trailer that weren't in the film.
I mean, it's
That's
a
a
great movie.
reason to dislike a movie critic.
Oh yeah, did she give it good reviews or bad review?
No, she said she hated it.
Oh,
And you could tell
fuck
if
her.
you literally read the
Pitchfork.
review and then went and saw the movie, you can tell she never watched the fucking movie.
All right, let's get our pitchforks and our torches. We're gonna go burn some world down. I don't know what part of the world.
It won't
Where
make
that's
it
at.
different.
I know, but it'll make me feel better
So,
because
Willie,
Con Air deserves to be defended.
you're complaining that a critic liked a movie that you didn't like, but critics hold no measure for
It's
you when
not-
it comes to the ranking of Bubble Boy.
It's not that I.
Well, and apparently he
I
doesn't listen to the
didn't
critics
like
on Man
it.
of Steel either because most
It's
of them
not-
trashed that.
It's not that I didn't like the movie. I thought, and I rarely think this of movies. I wish I did not ever see it. Most time, like, oh, it's a bad movie, but at least I had fun, like making fun of it or some things, doing it like that. This movie, I straight up hated it. I felt like I wasted money. I would have wasted money if I rented it. It would have been that terrible. And the fact that he's telling people to go watch it, I'm like, what the? Are you fucking serious? It's not. I feel like this is not even a movie that anyone would like. Like that, no one should go see this. It's terrible. It's not even funny. Like any of the funny parts, there's probably in the trailer from my memory.
Hey, guess what?
Are you ready, Chris? Are you ready for it, Chris?
Go ahead.
I like
for
Burt
it.
Wonderstone.
Are you serious? Or are you just?
It wasn't great, but it was funny.
Oh my god!
I thought Olivia Wilde was actually fantastic in it, and I actually really loved Jim Carrey's version of Chris Angel because it was creepy and entertaining to see Jim Carrey do his version of a Chris Angel magician. Like that shit was funny.
I mean, I'll give you the making fun of Chris Angel.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, but that's
the
about
best
it.
Steve
Not the
Carell
fact
movie
what he
ever
was
made.
doing.
Hell no.
The
But it
fact
was
that he
a
was making
funny
fun of
movie.
it. That's the only thing I give you. Yeah, I know they're trying to be the tiger fucking magicians, but Roy and whatever the fuck his name is, I don't give a shit.
Wow, they're down to the tiger fucking magicians, Roy and whatever.
Isn't Roy dead now? I thought he just passed away a couple years
how
ago.
the mighty have fallen.
Oh, when were they ever mighty?
Didn't
I've
know.
never been to Las Vegas. Maybe if I've been there and they were, up on top of the world, like, oh yeah, they were big. I've never been
30
there.
years they ruled Vegas.
Yeah, they were one of the
Like-
biggest acts in Vegas until
With the
was it
tiger.
Roy that got assaulted by the tiger, or was it?
Yeah, I think
Siegfried?
it was Roy that got
Oh, so-
hurt. I believe it was Roy that got mauled.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. And until that happened, they were like one of the biggest acts in Vegas. Like, and would do like the talk show circuit and stuff like that, bringing
Yeah.
tigers with them and things.
They were the original Tiger King.
Yeah, Tiger grabbed Roy Horn by his neck and drug him off stage. Yeah, so it was Roy that got mauled. But yeah, no, I mean, they were literally like the top act in Vegas for roughly like 20, 30 years. Like, they were big. Like, the way people go see, all the different shows now, everybody used to go see Siegfried and Roy when they went to Vegas. Like, those boys made money. Like, that show was sold out every night of the week. Like, they did good.
I'm trying to see how much money they're making in there, but yeah, his injury from February 1, 1990 until October 3, 2003, the duo formed Siegfried and Roy at the Mirage, which is regarded as the most visited show in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
I thought when Britney Spears went to Vegas, I thought that started getting
1990. I don't think
I'm
Britney
kidding,
was
I'm kidding.
born.
No, I mean I thought saying I thought it was like saying the biggest even in the history even till now. I thought it was what I was trying to say. Did I mishear that? Did I misunderstand that?
It might be. They might have sold more tickets in the 90s than she did in the 2000s. It's possible.
I know. I was making a joke anyway. I didn't even feel like there was nothing behind that.
It says which was regarded as most visited show in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm assuming in that date range, the way it is phrased, not like of all time,
That's weird.
because people had more disposable income for a while there after that period and would go to Vegas and catch shows and gamble and whatnot.
It was the 90s.
It was.
But anyway, don't ever see The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. It's a terrible fucking movie.
Speaking of 90s, Drasman in the chat room said Bubble Boy was one of the most 90s dumb movies, but it came out in August of 2001.
So that makes you look dumb, Draftsman. I still like you, but it makes you look dumb. Came out in 2001. Early 2000s. There's a distinctive feel between late 90s and early 2000s. I don't know why. It's like something I can't tell you what it is. You
Yes.
just see it and feel it. It's like it's there. You don't know what it is. Like there's a difference between American Pie and Bubble Boy. There's like a difference to it, but they're in like the same vein
one's
of comedy.
a raunch comedy and the other isn't. You can't really equate
It
raunch
tried to be.
comedies to something
Touched
like
on
that.
raunch.
No,
Did the Bubble Boy fuck a pie?
And I also like to call them boob comedies, especially when they're in the 80s. The 80s boob comedies, they're just funny.
You just like Porky's.
Well, that was 70s.
That's true.
First of all,
Oh, Lassie.
and I've never seen Porky's 2: The Revenge. Wasn't there a third one?
Probably.
There was 3 or 4 of them, yeah.
I never saw any of the sequels. That first one is good though. If you haven't seen Porky's, I highly recommend it.
It's a classic.
Oh, it is. Oh my god, there's so much good parts into it. Oh, even
It's the
the
best
whole
movie
egg
Kim
trick.
Cattrall's ever been a part of.
The egg trick at the very beginning was meat probably beat the shit out of Pee Wee. Why do you think they call him meat? Someone asked him in the movie, and they get told.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
I wasn't purposely playing Willie off that time. It just happened that way. But welcome to the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what's in our minds some of the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up in the past week and share it with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date. What you got going on over there, Willie? You had a good stretch going on. Was I boring you?
No, I just felt like stretching, man. If stretching feels good, man.
That's fair.
Just like Ray Park Jr., like busting makes him feel good. Stretching makes me feel good.
That's fair.
I figured I was off camera. I can get away with it. But no, you got to call me
I
out.
just wanted to make sure that I wasn't boring you with my good takes on Bubble Boy.
No, I just had a stretch, man. You never just need to have a good stretch.
I'm just trying to double down on the Bubble Boy comments, I'll be honest.
I kind of got you, and you haven't seen it. Until you see it, I don't want to hear another comment from you about it.
It's my God-given right as an American to ignorantly speak about things I haven't seen.
Put it right on the list, right underneath Fifth Element.
No, it's a little bit further down. I'm going to let you know that probably. Because it's Fifth Element written down about 10 times in a row.
At this point,
Because once you watch it, you're going to want to watch it again.
It's
I'm
just
gonna let
become
you know.
part of my shtick to push back against watching it, I'll be honest. It's just shtick now.
Hey, Chris, I want to mention I didn't bring it up. Because I know how you work, and I'm not the one bringing it up. I just want to state that.
Do you want a cookie?
No, I just want you to watch it, but I don't want to tell you to watch it for you to fight back. You get what I mean?
No.
I want you to see something that I think you would genuinely enjoy and love.
Well, thank you, Willie. Speaking of things that you genuinely enjoy and love, I got some news about a streaming service, and particularly a show you like Doom Patrol, and how it's going to impact its future going forward. See what I did there?
Hopefully getting more episodes.
See what I did there? I tied it into something you liked. I'm a nice guy. I'm not dogging on you all whole show, just part of the show.
Most of the show.
Most of the show. So last week we talked about on the show, as we were recording the show, I think the news started trickling out that there was a lot of changes coming over at the DC Comics side of the house. Lots of firings of editors, things like that, and a lot of people going, what does this mean for the future of certain DC properties, be them comic books, television shows, streaming services, things like that? We're starting to get some answers this week. Jim Lee did an interview, I believe, with The Hollywood Reporter, where we found out the fate of some of DC Universe's original content and the streaming service itself. So what we have found out, according to The Hollywood Reporter, is that DC Universe's original content, that includes programs like Titans, Swamp Thing, Stargirl, and Young Justice, are all headed to HBO Max. This is according to DC Chief Creative Officer and still currently publisher Jim Lee. This news came, like we mentioned, as the news came out that there was a total reorg going, a bunch of firings, things like that. Now, for those that aren't familiar, DC Universe was an app right now that is $7.99 a month that gives you access to a variety of different DC television programs, movies, and also a back catalog of digital comics that you're able to view. We'll come back to that comic piece here in a second. This really shouldn't be any news that to anyone that they're going to fold up the streaming side of the house in DC Universe. We've already seen Doom Patrol get moved over to HBO Max. Harley Quinn just get moved over to HBO Max. And then the Snyder Cut of Justice League was not coming to DC Universe. It was coming to HBO Max. So there are things that make you kind of scratch your head and go, well, it looks like they didn't have a lot of faith in this. Oh, yeah, and also there's that Batman spin-off TV show from the Matt Reeves movie that was going to be an HBO Max exclusive, not on the DC Universe app. So it has come out officially. DC Universe, they're folding all of the content, streaming television and movie-wise, and moving it over to HBO Max. I bring that up because Jim Lee mentioned in his interview that the DC Universe will likely stick around in some capacity for its comic catalog and community. So they are going to try and do something to still have a subscription service for digital comics, similar to what Marvel has with their Marvel Unlimited subscription plan. It's just you're no longer getting movies and things like that. He also made a point of saying the community would continue to exist because I guess they've built up like message boards or whatnot to allow for interaction.
One of the selling points was that the forums that they had, the message boards, gave you access to current working DC writers, colorists, pencilers, editors. Like everybody that was working on DC books had accounts basically on those forums that they talked about their books. So it was a chance to interact with the creators of the books you were hopefully reading.
Which there's something to be said for that. If you can create a safer environment to have that, because let's be honest, while you can have fun on Twitter BSing with people, it can also turn toxic like that when someone's like, "You're just an SJW troll," or comics gators get involved or anything like that.
Oh,
So
those people.
if DC has built up a community where they can moderate it and ensure that conversation doesn't turn shitty, for lack of a better term, good on them. Do I think people are going to pay $7.99 a month for digital comics and forums when they also are getting movies and TV shows beforehand? I don't think so.
Yeah, if that price doesn't drop, that thing's going to die a quick death. Especially when I think Comixology Unlimited is $6.99 and the catalog there is about 10 times the size.
Well, and one thing that's going to be interesting here is this is also going to negatively impact people who stream primarily on like a Roku or a Fire TV stick right now, because DC Universe does exist pretty much on any of these streaming devices. HBO Max is still not on Fire TV or Roku. So if you want to watch this content, you're SOL.
Wait, you mean they still haven't figured out how to get their app at places?
Well, they are still negotiating with Time Warner to get the right fees. And as to whose fault it is, you can go and read that stuff for yourself. It just
It's
seems,
almost as if nobody shoots himself in the foot like DC.
well, it's not just them though. Peacock's the same way. It is also not on Roku or Fire TV.
Oh, did they flub their launch as well?
Didn't
How is
flub.
Disney the only one that got it right?
Because Disney paid money to make the deal that they wanted there. And Disney is arguably, or at least at that time, was arguably more powerful than either of those groups because they had a lot of money to throw around and things like Star Wars and Marvel. What I guess you could say NBC Universal could throw around Fast and the Furious, maybe? I don't know. It's tougher to be like, hey, you need to make sure you have our app, because are people really clamoring to mainline the Fast and the Furious movies and older NBC back catalog? I don't know, but they are clamoring to mainline Disney movies for their kids or Marvel movies for themselves and their kids. So it's just a matter of negotiating, and Disney got to negotiate in a different time, whereas these guys are negotiating in the middle of a pandemic when everyone wants their piece of the pie because they don't know what their future is. But yeah, so if you have HBO Max, Willie, which I know you do, you don't have to have a DC Universe app anymore, or soon, because the content will be moving there. It just hasn't moved yet.
Oh, yeah, because it's still not a done deal, because Swamp Thing still hasn't even launched on CW, and it's supposed to go to CW first and then go to HBO Max. Like, a lot of this stuff is way down the line.
Yeah, but Swamp Thing's already canceled, so who cares?
Yeah, it's just weird because they're talking about, oh, well, we're going to bring all the shows to HBO Max. It's like, well, you already said one of them's going to go, it's going to actually, like, air live on CW as if it's a new show.
Well, that's
then it'll be on the CW app. And then it will eventually be on the HBO Max.
The pandemic
app.
threw a wrench in there. It was originally supposed to be on DC Universe, got canceled before they finished the run. Then the pandemic happened, and CW went, we need content. There's content sitting here that you canceled that you're just going to dump on an app. Why don't we put it on TV so that we can have new content out there? So that's arguably more pandemic related than it is Time Warner not knowing what the crap they're doing in that regard, because it is actually, I think at least, a smarter business play to be like, hey, new content on the CW if you guys like superhero stuff, because there's no new content anywhere else that's not reality TV at the moment.
Yeah, well, and especially because I just watched the finale of Stargirl from last week, so the one superhero CW DC show they had going just ended.
Right, and none of these things have gone back to to begin filming again. None of them are in production currently. They're all kind of waiting to see what happens, to figure out how long the seasons are going to be, what protections they're going to put in place, anything like that. So it sort of makes sense in that regard. They had content that they were doing nothing with, so put it on TV and make a little money off of it.
you can file this, at least with the shows finally coming to HBO Max. You can file that under shit that should have already happened when HBO Max started.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, if they had all their ducks in a row, but instead they had their ducks on 8 different apps.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would
Swamp
enjoy
Thing
to
on the
watch
CW
Titans.
still just
Would
says
I
coming
enjoy it?
soon, so it doesn't even have a date on it.
Why I enjoy Titans? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to see it because I have the app that's supposed to be on, but it ain't there. Because Doom Patrol's there, but Titans ain't.
Fuck Batman.
Yeah. Well, I'm also in agreement with that.
Sorry, I was just trying to get into how gritty and dark Titans went to be by putting that in their trailer. Robin
Mostly-
going, fuck Batman.
Yeah, mostly because I don't ever want to see his parents die ever again.
My parents are
I
dead.
get it. I get it.
Guess what? Dick Grayson's parents are dead too, Willie.
Yeah, I know. Every superhero's parents
Really?
are dead
Do
mostly.
they show Dick Grayson's parents die in Titans? I bet they do.
I have no idea. I haven't had a chance to see it.
Well, when you watch Titans, make note, and I bet they show Dick Grayson's parents die in Titans.
I know they referenced it in the pilot. I don't know if they actually show it or not. I saw the pilot of Titans.
Do you know where they don't show you Dick Grayson's parents dying? Batman and Robin. They don't show it there.
Because they
but
showed
you-
it in Batman Forever, the movie right
I
before.
know. They showed it the one time in the movies. And that was good enough.
Well-
Because, hey, we understand his parents are dead. All right, we got it.
So-
Don't have to see it again.
All right, let me be fair with you, though. Tim Burton only showed Batman's parents die once. Joel Schumacher only showed it happen once. And I can't remember how many times Nolan showed it in his movies. I think it might have only been once. So everyone who gets a Batman series decides they need to show Batman's parents die. Just like most people who get a Spider-Man movie series or cartoon need to show Uncle Ben die. The exception being the current iteration of Spider-Man where they didn't show that yet.
Which was all right. I mean, they mentioned him,
That's
and that was all you needed.
It was all right.
I appreciate the fact that they didn't show Uncle Ben dying yet again.
You know what I appreciate, Willie? That you got some news about the Avengers game for us.
I do. We talked about last week how there was some exclusivity with a Spider-Man character. Thanks for the segue. And I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing Uncle Ben dying in the Avengers game, which is, pretty nice as well. But there's going to be more exclusivities, but not in the way you're thinking. More in the way of exclusive costumes. Let's go with that. Does it make sense? Not really. Because only if you're a certain customer of, I don't know, let's say Verizon, if this page would load so I could actually see what I'm talking about, that'd be nice. It's not loading.
So, Willie, costumes, though, that's not going to impact the way I play the game, correct? These are just skins, is how I understood it.
Well, I don't know if you're going to play better if you look a certain way or not. I can't speak to that.
I tend to think I play better when I look sexy. So if I can make Captain America look sexy, I guess I would play better.
I can't argue with that.
It is America's ass.
It is America's ass. All right, so yeah. Verizon gets custom skins. Intel customers also get custom skins. I don't understand Intel customers. What the hell does Intel make?
Processors in computers.
Chip?
So if you buy
Chips.
those, you get the skin.
Yeah, there's
How's it gonna?
a lot of PC gamers build their rigs, and most of them aren't buying Intel chipsets currently because the AMD ones are better. But
Which might be why Intel's paying to have custom skins.
I don't know that that's going to make me buy a new processor, though, or an Intel processor that may not be spec'd as well, because I get the Black Widow Super Premium Platinum Elite skin that only 76 million people get, or some nonsense like that.
And also be like, I'm a console user. I don't really even have a PC. Okay, I mean, the skins look cool, but I mean, I don't really care, especially since I'm never gonna buy an Intel processor.
Look, just wait for them to put out a Game of the Year edition of this game 6 to 12 months from release, and then you'll probably get all of these skins.
Oh yeah, so it's Verizon and Intel and Virgin Media. So, somehow, if you get something from them, you're gonna get the exclusive skins. Virgin, I understand, because you're a phone subscriber. You pay for the phone, and you get access to it. That makes sense. The other ones, I don't understand it. What if I bought an Intel processor last year? Will I still be able to get the skins?
No, it's probably
No.
tied to buying in a certain window. You get a redemption code or whatever. I mean, this all happens because these folks threw money at them and said, hey, you've got Marvel. We want to have some kind of tie-in so we can have something exclusive. Here's X $100 or whatever. It's more than 100, obviously. But here's X amount of money so that we can have exclusive content in your game that might drive people to buy our product to have this content in your game. It's on a smaller scale and arguably less terrible scale than what Sony's doing with an exclusive character.
I mean, do I really care? Not really. Some of these skins do look cool, not gonna lie. But do I really care? Not really. It doesn't affect me. What happened to the good old day when I can go buy like a bag of Doritos or a bottle of Mountain Dew and get a code?
Pandemic, man, we gotta find better ways to draw people in now. You don't get anything for cheap anymore.
But Doritos gotta make some money too.
Is it just regular Doritos or Doritos Locos? Or is it Cool Ranch?
I remember when Doritos had a special flavor. I think it was X something. It was like X and some numbers.
Extreme.
It actually was pretty good because it was pretty much had the flavor of bacon cheeseburger. Like you could taste all the individual flavors, and it was like, I can taste the ketchup and mustard. I can taste the bacon. I can taste the burger. What the hell? How did they do this? And they got rid of it. I don't know why.
Here's how they did it,
It
Willie.
worked.
Chemicals.
Those chemicals tasted fucking delicious.
They found the right combination of chemicals to replicate that taste. I'm not really joking here.
I know you're not. And I don't, I mean, hell, most of the things we eat are chemicals, and that's how the flavor gets here. I don't care. This is how the world works, man. It's how your flavor buds are accustomed to the universe. Does it really matter?
While we're talking about Avengers, obviously when we get to what I'm into, I'm pretty sure we've all been playing, but let's use this as a natural launching point to be like, did you guys play any of the beta this weekend?
We did last night.
Indeed.
How?
It's still fun.
So I also got to start playing because it opened this weekend on Xbox PC, and I think Stadia might have it now. I can't
For
honestly.
pre-orders. No, it's not on Stadia. I can tell you that.
Okay. I didn't know if the beta was on Stadia or not. So I got it on Xbox. I found out that they had sent me back a code back in November when I originally pre-ordered that I could have redeemed back then to then get a notification when it was ready and have a Square
That's
Enix
weird.
code sent to me. It was strange, but
I'm
whatever.
happy you found it.
Yeah, me
That must
too.
have been an ordeal.
Well, all I did was type Square Enix Avengers in my Gmail, and then it showed up. So
Fair enough.
not terrible, to be honest. So I did get to start playing it. I have done all of the intro missions and stuff, and now I'm on my own, basically. I have access to the war table. So that's where I'm at.
And I will correct you a little bit, or not correct you, but put emphasis more. Last weekend was if you had a PS4 pre-order. This weekend, if you have an Xbox or PC pre-order, but all PS4 users are available. It's an open beta for PS4 users. Next weekend is open for everybody.
Okay.
Just
gotcha.
so it's clear.
So
And you don't
next-
have to, and you use the same app you're using now next week too, I believe. At least it does on the PlayStation.
They'll probably
'cause-
just issue a patch behind the scenes, or most of the stuff they're changing is probably server side.
This did have a patch for this weekend, from as opposed to last week. Or, it was a new
I think
patch.
it was only like a 30 gig download for me, though. It wasn't necessarily terrible sized.
Well, because it's only a small number. There's no cutscenes to keep the game kind of, the game to be surprised. And it's only a handful of missions.
It's true. So, like I said, I got to play some of it. I've gotten to play some of the holographic missions, test play some of the other Avengers. I will say I do enjoy getting to throw Thor's hammer and then have another button to call the hammer back to you so you can take people out. That's kind of fun.
Like God of War.
Yeah, very similar to God of War. It's almost like the mechanic came from someplace else. Neither here nor there. My biggest concern with it, and this is a beta, so it's not really the best way to evaluate it, I think it could get repetitive really fast. That's my concern.
I can see that, but like last weekend, me and Bachman played. We just ran through a bunch. Like we were like doubling over and stuff. Like there are some missions, the so-called drop zone missions.
Mm-hmm.
They last like you get done with those in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like boom, boom. It's like okay, what's the point of loading this in? I can see. I don't understand. I know it's kind of has like a play style of like Destiny and stuff like that. I've never played Destiny, so I don't know if they have missions like that last that short in there. I mean, you still get some cool shit.
I think the intent is that's an easy way to grind and get loot. is that you might be able to get some cool stuff to build up the characters you're wanting to use, so that you don't have to grind forever and ever. And then there's supposedly,
fair.
from some of the press
I can
coverage
see
and
it
stuff
then.
they've done, there's other events where you can drop in and it might take a couple hours to beat.
That I don't
That I think
see. There's a mission that takes quite a while. There's two missions that take a little bit of time, if depending upon how you rush through it or not. Because I do like the fact that when you push up on the D-pad, like in like one of those wider missions, it shows you where question marks, where like people to save or where chests are. They get better gear. It does show you on the map where they are. Like it's question marks, so you don't know what it is till you get closer, right up on it.
It also
And then you
shows
have
the
to.
path to the main objective if you don't want to go for the side stuff.
And also, I wish that's another thing I wish it would do. I hope they change by the time it fully releases. To find where your teammates are, you have to push up on the D-pad. I want them to kind of put that as like
Put
an
it on the
always-on thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. Or if they're in your view, you don't have to have the icons. But if they're off to the side or back, the icon would be to where they're the location, so you can move in that direction. Like, oh, they're over there. Okay, gotcha.
No, I think
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
It's weird not being able to like find your teammates on a map.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right without being like a little mini map. I don't really mind that. It's a little weird that there's not like at least like a directional, like like a compass up top, like most games do.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind something like that, and showing like your other characters on one side or the other, depending on what if they're behind you or to the left or to the right. That'd be nice.
From a gameplay perspective, I really wish that all the stuff they teach you in the harm room, like here's how you counter, here's how you leap over someone, here's how you actually play the game. You got a little more when you started the game and had already played 2 hours of it previously to that, to kind of teach you how to counter properly and teach you how to do certain things. Because I felt like I was button mashing because I didn't quite know what I was doing, and then they taught me how to do it after I had finished the bulk of the beta story missions and stuff like that. That's a minor nitpick, and I hope.
But this is the beta.
Yeah, I hope when the
tutorial
game,
end game will probably be better.
yeah,
I'm
but
assuming.
remember, this is dropping you in the very first mission. In the beta is what's supposedly the first mission in the game. And it taught me how to do like heavy strikes, light strikes, and charged attacks and stuff. But it really wasn't teaching me how to do like counters and how to leap over people and stuff like that. It was teaching me how to hit people. But then as I got into the later levels, and presumably there's levels in between that might teach those things, I was like, why the hell does this guy keep hitting me? I keep hitting the dodge button. But you can't dodge some things. You can only counter them, I've realized later. So that's just a weird gameplay thing that, as a consequence of the beta, I think didn't shake out. Once that shook out, I felt like I understood better what I was doing gameplay-wise. Like, oh, I can finally, counter this instead of just running away when I see someone charge up this attack because I didn't know what else to do.
I'm still not sure if I understand how to do the counters and all that myself.
I think I've only done them on accident.
Okay. it's the R trigger, basically, and it'll either...
Yeah.
R2. I've seemed to
Let's
have
say
gotten
what it is.
It's R trigger for Xbox, or
I know a mess
because you have R trigger and R bumper, things like that. But I think the game is interesting. My normal problem I have with like these living looter shooter kind of games, this isn't really a shooter, it's more of a looter brawler, for lack of a better term, is that if the content doesn't keep flowing out after launch, you've got like a couple months where you've got people hooked in there, but if you don't have good content after that, I don't know how much people stay around. And if it's repetitive and I'm not getting a bunch of stuff, and arguably we're supposed to be getting a bunch of stuff. They've been talking about how all DLC is free. They're going to have new mission packs, instances, new characters, stuff like that. I think it could be fun. I don't know. I'm still having a hard time with my distaste being on the Xbox and only getting 5/6 of a game versus a full game that you guys on PlayStation will get. And I fully admit that colors my judgment some.
I would say it's more 7/8 of a game.
Okay,
and that's after Spider-Man comes out.
Yeah.
Before, till next year, you get the complete game. And then some. Till then.
But the
I
fact
understand-
remains that I pay the same
understand.
price for a product and don't get the same stuff.
I do understand that.
Well,
I'm not
buy
arguing that.
shit on Xbox. Jesus. If you have a PlayStation, use the fucking
Because
thing.
it's my preferred console and I don't have an online subscription on PlayStation.
I mean, that's easily changeable. Get rid of Xbox Gold, make PlayStation your preferred thing. That way, all three of us can actually play together.
Xbox
Chris.
Gold's supposedly going free.
Once again, Chris, just switch over to join the majority.
Yeah, but I already pre-ordered on Xbox for like $46. I won't be able to get it on PlayStation for that cheap.
Oh, so you're still getting it?
If I decide to retain, I said I would wait through the end of the beta to make that decision. So next
All right.
weekend.
Well, you got next week. Okay. I was about to say.
In all honesty, what I am leaning towards right now is that I've got so much other stuff I want to play. I will probably not buy Avengers until 6-8 months from now when the price has gone down some, and then I'll pick it up and start playing, is what I honestly think. Just because there's other things I want to play right now.
And I can't blame you. That's
Yeah.
perfectly okay to do.
And then I might buy it on my PlayStation 4, or I might buy it on my Xbox Series X. No, I'm just kidding.
It's whatever. I don't mind. Not gonna hurt me. I just wish we could play together. That's all I'm hoping
So
for.
that's one of the things I want to see whether that ends up happening or not, whether they allow cross-play between the different networks. Because I haven't seen anything that explicitly says one way or another what the end result is going to be.
I think their silence is kind of telling that they're probably not going to do it.
I tend to think you're right, but if you are interested in the game, Willie pointed out it's an open beta next weekend. So pick up the beta, play it on your preferred platform, and then you can make a decision because it's effectively a demo at this point.
And I am going to say, guess what game did get cross-play recently? Dead by Daylight.
It's true, even on the Switch, I think.
Oh, God. I mean, I would love to go against Switch fucking killers. That would be great. Oh, my God. I would hope I could just feel like, oh, this person's a Switch player. Oh, man, this is going to be so easy. I'm sure you've seen that the We're the Millers meme. Like I'm only getting paid this much for it, and then Jennifer Aniston's like, I'm only getting paid this much, or you're only paying me this much, and the girl's like, you know what I'm talking about, that meme. And the last guy's like, wait, you guys are getting paid? I saw that, but with frames on Dead by Daylight. It's like PC's like, I'm getting what? I'm getting I'm not getting frame locked at all. And then the people on the mobile like, I'm only getting 60 frames a second. And then console players like, I'm only getting 30 frames a second. And then Switch players, you guys are getting frames?
That was pretty good.
That is a good one. Talking about Dead by Daylight, of course. Yeah, the mobile gets 60 frames a second, but the consoles can't. I'm sorry, you don't think you heard that.
There's reason why a PS4 or an Xbox One would not be able to do 60 frames per second.
Yeah, people have been asking for console optimization for a while.
Especially if you're running PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. There is literally no reason why those devices could not run 60 frames per second.
I guess they just don't want to pull the resources away from, adding more to the game, I guess. I don't know. I've never made a game. I don't really know what goes into it myself, But yeah, that makes sense.
I think so. So we had our brief Avengers aside. Let's pivot back into the news, and Bachman, wrap it up for us. What do you got for your news of the week?
We got a tweet went out from the co-creator of Avatar, and the Last Airbender creators are leaving the Netflix live-action series over creative differences. We got co-creator Michael Dante DiMartino has announced that he and Brian Konitso, I'm not sure if that's how you say that dude's last name, have left the Netflix live-action adaptation. It says, whatever version ends up on the screen, it will not be what Brian and I envisioned or intended to make, he put on his Facebook page. So, let's see, where is it? Open letter to Avatar: The Last Airbender fans. Many of you have been asking for updates about the live-action series. I can finally tell you that I'm no longer involved with the project. In June of this year, after 2 years of development, Brian Konitso and I made the difficult decision to leave the production. He basically just goes on to say, they were working with him, trying to get everything done the way they wanted it, and pretty much they couldn't see eye to eye with Netflix. So Netflix is going forward with the live-action version, but the main reason people wanted to see it was that the co-creators were involved is no longer going to be part of it. So, not good news.
There's something I saw a while back. I was watching G4. I think it was on Attack of the Show or something. When X-Men 3 was, I think it was still in pre-production or something, had some issues. And someone was dressed as Professor X. And they said something that really resonates and still sticks with me to this day. I'd rather have no X-Men 3 than a bad X-Men 3. And this fits for this as well.
Well, we already got
Yeah.
a bad Avatar because we got the whitewashed M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong version, which
And we
sucked
don't want
balls.
another.
Yeah, so we'll see what Netflix does now. But yeah, apparently the two guys that created one of the coolest cartoons ever have walked and are no longer going to be a part of the show. So
I thought it was getting canceled until you just said Netflix is
Nope.
continuing on. Okay, that was my understanding. I was wrong, and I am scared.
yeah, no, there's nothing in here that says Netflix is stopping it. I mean, and honestly, if they put this much money into it, 2 years of pre-production and possible shit that's already been filmed and edited, yeah, Netflix is going to use it. Like they
And
paid
that
for
scares me.
So
I mean,
Yeah.
even with the creators, like Netflix, the Lock and Key, it was an all right show, but it was not the comic.
So full
Not by a
disclosure,
long
haven't
shot.
watched Avatar: The Last Airbender other than like 4 or 5 episodes when I first started a while ago and then dropped off. Okay, the showrunners are gone who had done the cartoon. That sucks. They have the entire run of the cartoon already done as the source material. What?
Yeah, but we all know great source material doesn't make for a great adaptation either.
All of Avatar, the show, was done by when M. Night Shyamalan did it, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he put a white kid in a movie and made a
M. Night
crap
Shyamalan's
version
a
of
shitty
it.
filmmaker, though. Let's leave it at that.
Whoa, 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 whoa! He has redeemed himself in my
Willie,
eyes.
he's so
Hey,
he has so
hey,
formulaic. What a twist!
my
Robot
eyes.
Chicken nailed it when they ripped on him.
And it works because I enjoy it. I
it
guess
works
I'm
the
a
first
sheeple.
2 times you watch one of his movies, and then you're like, "Oh, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Here comes the inevitable twist."
I'm sorry,
Oh,
most
there it
movies have a
is.
fucking twist. What are you complaining about?
Yeah, but
You
this
know,
is a
most
twist that
movies
thinks
have-
is too smart and people won't pick up on it.
Yeah,
It's like,
there's a difference between a needed
don't
twist,
that.
a well-written twist, and a forced twist.
I mean, look at Unbreakable.
And
The
after-
twist wasn't even that big of a deal. Samuel L. Jackson was evil all along. That was like an afterthought of the movie. It was like, and it fed into
Basically,
Glass. But
everything after I See Dead People was forced twists. He couldn't write a story without a forced twist ending.
all right, so let's step back to this a second versus ripping on M. Night Shyamalan because there's no reason to. I will not
Do it.
argue with you
Thank
that losing a showrunner can be a bad thing. Point in case, Community Season 4. They lost Dan
Yeah.
Harmon. Season 4 Community was nowhere near as good. If Dan Harmon or, oh my God, I forgot, Justin Roiland left Rick and Morty, wouldn't be as funny because of the distinctive voice they give to things. Now, this is slightly different. They're doing a live action adaptation of a cartoon. Not to say that their voices don't have benefit or help in that writer's room, but this is an adaptation of something that's already been created. I don't know whether that loss is as big or not. I can understand why people would be upset because they have such a love for the original content. I get that. Wait and see what happens is all I'm saying. If you don't
Hey,
want to
it-
watch it now, that's fine, but wait and see. You can't be like, oh, it's going to be shit because they're gone, because you don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, even he's saying that, he says it in his letters, like, we don't know what it's going to be, but it's just not going to have our stamp on it. And Netflix could get someone that loves Avatar, The Last Airbender, and put them in charge and make them the showrunner. We could get a showrunner that loves the cartoon that these guys made, that wants to be, wants to honor the source material and make it as much like that show as possible. Could happen. The difference now, though, is if there are changes in the live action, then it becomes, oh, well, this person's changing it because they want to put their name on it. And it no longer has, the thumbs up approval of the guys who actually created Avatar. So now it's because if the guys who created the cartoon are doing the live action show and they make changes, it's like, okay, well, it's the creators. So it's their show. It's their characters. If they want to change something that Aang does, hey, it's theirs. You can't argue with that. George Lucas wants to fuck with Star Wars. Hey, it's his fucking Star Wars. He made it. But when somebody else fucks with it, that's when someone else is putting their name on it. So now when we get the new showrunner, it's going to be a question of, is it someone that loves Avatar? Is it someone that grew up with it? And if they do make changes, are they going to make the types of changes that we would have seen before? Or are they making changes just to put their stamp on it? We've seen when producers try to put the change on something, not for specifically for the change in media, but only because they want to have their influence felt in the final product.
I want to say the big question that we don't have an answer for is, what are these creative differences of the reason why they left? What is that?
Yeah, because
we don't know.
There's nothing saying why they butted heads with Netflix. So,
and that's the most important thing that we
Exactly.
kind of.
Yeah,
That's
what
I'm
is it
curious
that
about.
Netflix wanted that the guys who made this show were adamant to not do?
Enough to walk away.
Yeah.
To
'Cause,
drop
yeah,
like, all right, we're done.
well, yeah, and as the shower, you got to know they're walking away from bank. This
Well,
is some big ass money if you're
They
talking about
probably
like
already
a 4 or
got
5
paid for
season.
the rights to it, though, so they're probably already made.
Oh, yeah.
bank. I mean,
But the rights are not the same as getting like the royalty checks when you do like a pilot and then you're the showrunner of every episode of a show and you get paid every time those shows air somewhere. Like those royalty checks get big.
I mean, the big thing is, like Willie said, we don't know why. It could be that they just got tired of having to fight on some things and said, okay, I'm just going to take my money and walk. It could be that there's some legit issue between them they couldn't get past, and Netflix is like, look, we control the pocketbook here. You can either walk or you can get on board with it. We don't give a crap. All I'm
Either
saying
walk
is,
or you can talk.
yeah, all I'm saying, folks, is give it a chance. It might still be good. It could end up being terrible. Watch the first episode and be like, I don't like what they did. And that's fine. Walk away. But I think it's really tough to be like, oh, F this. I'm not going to watch it because these guys aren't involved in it. Well, you can make that choice, but you're not necessarily going to know if it's good. It arguably would be the same as if we go back. Well, we've heard the same thing from Star Wars fanboys. I'm not going to watch it. George Lucas isn't involved in it. Followed up by George Lucas should have been involved in it, because if there's one thing that's true, Star Wars fanboys will never be happy with whatever the end product is, unless it's Baby
Yeah,
Yoda.
I thought everyone hated Phantom Menace. Like, what was with all this loving George Lucas out of nowhere all of a sudden? I don't understand. I thought like this is what he brought. Jar Jar Binks. All right, but anyway, there's only two things I give a chance, and that's peace and love, and this ain't neither one of those. I ain't giving a chance of shit.
I mean, that's fine. You can make.
I'll
that
wait
choice
to see
do
the
so.
trailer. At some point, we'll see a trailer, and I think that'll tell us what we need to know.
Just like that woman who reviewed Con Air.
I mean,
That's
I think
right.
it would be really hard if you're someone who loves Avatar the Airbender, or insert random property here that you love. Put the name of your favorite movie or a book series or something like that. If the original creators of it decide to walk, that's a tough pill to swallow, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be bad.
Well, I mean, also, and having the creators doesn't actually make it that it's guaranteed it's going to be good. Like I said, Lock and Key. Joe Hill was a part of it the entire way. He helped
Lock and
write
Key
the
was
script.
good.
It was okay. It could have been. It wasn't the comic. The comic was arguably a lot better. Like the tonality of the show. What the best way I heard describe is the kids are in Scooby Doo and the bad guys are in Saw. Like they're like they're taking like these. They're trying to fucking murder you, and you're just trying to like, oh jinkies, what are we gonna do? It's like, I mean, is that not a fair assessment? I mean, it made sense to me
That's
when I saw
actually
it.
a pretty solid assessment.
And so it's like, so I mean, it could have been better. Is what I'm saying.
No, it could have been better, but I thought they did a good job with it. That comic was just so fucking terrifying and violent. Like, I don't think they wanted to push that hard towards the violence.
I'm not
and
saying they had to
the
do it,
scary.
but just at least have some sort of tonality of it. You know, just being similar. Like, you know, have that fear in there. But it's more like it was more a little bit, not totally, but it's like not kidified, teenified. Let's go with that. Made for like a teen audience.
So, how do I put this best as we wrap it up? I think we also need to keep in mind there's a difference between a live action adaptation versus a spin-off or a reboot kind of things. Because I will fully admit, I am one of those people that's like, NBC wants to do another reboot or reimagining of Battlestar Galactica. Why? It just finished not 10 years ago, and that one concerns me. I think there's a slight difference between taking an animated property or a book property than adapting it to another format.
Well, and there's something very specific about this that when I found out about the creation of the original Avatar show, I ended up really loving it. The fact that the 4 elements are actually based in 4 separate martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that doesn't carry over, that will be something that will make me not like the show.
Yeah, that's something they showed you from the very first intro when they showing off. It's all the 4 different people like showing the different stances and everything. That was key.
If in the live action we don't get specific martial arts per element and actors that know how to do fucking martial arts, or I'm sorry, martial artists that learn how to act would be the better route to go. Because we've seen what happens when you get the kid from Game of Thrones and try to make him Iron Fist and give him a whopping 2 months in the dojo. That shit doesn't work. You cannot make an actor look like a lifelong fighter. It's not possible without 6 months of training minimum.
All right, and to counteract that point, that's what they kind of did for the live-action Avatar movie, Last Airbender movie. The kid they got Zhang, they got him for his he could move, he could do all the things.
His movements look good.
His acting though was
his acting was.
No, he's still. I'm not gonna bash the kid. He was a kid, and all that. He could move. He could do great things with his body. Like, I'm not gonna take that away from him at all.
If you want to put actors in there, you got to give them the time to learn. Say what you want. Let's give an example here of a perfect example of that. Keanu Reeves. Dude is not a martial artist by trade originally. Look how much time they spent training for The Matrix and the Matrix spin-offs. Look how much time he spent training with weapons and stuff for all the John Wick movies and martial arts in there. The dude looks pretty badass on screen doing all of those things and does the bulk of his stunts and work there.
Yep.
But that's because
And on the same coin, Tom Cruise does that as well.
Right.
From everything I've heard.
Correct. And that's because they both take the time and they arguably are afforded the ability to do this because A, they're rich in their names, which is in order to make this work, I need to go train for 6 months on how to do this so that I can look correct on film
to make
as I
this
do
movie
this.
good.
Yes. Say what you want about Tom Cruise, whether he's a wackadoo, whether he's a good actor or not. The dude is committed to his craft in that regard. That like the Halo jump they did in the last Mission Impossible, that's him the entire time.
He
it's
is
not
a
Henry
wackadoo.
Cavill there. It's Tom
He is
Cruise.
a good actor, and he's committed to his roles.
He
is
probably
all
should
of the
be
above.
committed.
He is all of the above.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves, I mean, when you see him talking in person, he never looks like the type of guy that would run into a fucking fight and beat someone's ass. But he is studied and trained and put in the hours to where when he's doing it on film, it looks good. If they put forth the effort, it can happen.
Yeah. I mean, and one of the coolest examples of that one was we've talked about the Corridor Crew YouTube channel on here before. They have a segment or a show they do called Stunt People React, where they've done the John Wick movies and they've talked about in there stuntmen who've been on set with Keanu are like, no, he's a total badass. He trains forever to be able to do this, and here's how he does these things. And you're like, holy shit, Keanu Reeves is doing these kind of falls and taking these kind of shots.
Well, I was gonna try to not reference something from there, but they did talk about Patrick Swayze about in Point Blank when he did the when they jumped out of a plane.
Mm-hmm.
They were told they can't do that because of insurance purposes. But Patrick Swayze got a camera crew. Like, come on up to this plane. We're going to do this, and that was them. That was him doing it against the studio's wishes.
Nice.
It's a really cool series. If you guys haven't watched it, Willie and I have both talked about it a few times on here. But they have stunt people react, visual effects artists react, and stuff like that. But the stunt people ones are fascinating. And the one that just came out this weekend was a stunt choreographer who does a lot of sword work. And it was really cool as they started.
I just saw it last night.
Getting into the sword work. And it basically eventually devolved into Ray Park's really freaking good, guys.
Yeah, if anybody that doesn't know that, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
There's a reason that dude was Snake Eyes.
I do have a question. They showed a scene from Rob Roy with Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Was that Ray Park? That looked like him.
It was not
that
Ray
him?
Park, I don't believe.
Okay, because it looked like him in the face.
No, I don't believe it was Ray Park.
Okay,
But
I wasn't sure.
if you're
Didn't think
Is
interested-
it weird that anytime you cover Ray Park's face, you get $100 million movie? If you show his face, you won't break 50 million.
that's
Isn't that
sad.
strange?
Yeah, because he was in Fanboys, and that movie didn't do that well, but it should have.
X-Men 1 begs to differ.
He was Toad. You could see his face.
Yeah.
I don't think it cracked 100 million.
But it was covered in makeup. I mean, you could see his face as Darth Maul in that same regard. Then
But you couldn't recognize it as Ray Park, though.
Yeah, that was not recognizable as Ray Park. He
That's
looked like Ray Park as Toad.
I mean, he still had green makeup all over his face.
You couldn't
that's
see his
the only
head at
argument I
all
would
in
have.
Sleepy Hollow, and that movie was awesome.
That was him in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, he's the Headless Horseman.
I thought that was Christopher Walken the whole way. I'm just kidding.
Yep. Yeah, it's only walking when you can actually see him before he loses his head. Whenever he doesn't have his head, that's fucking Ray Park in a giant neck piece.
Oh, I don't even remember anything of that movie. Like
I only
what,
saw
like
it
things
once.
that happened in the movie. Yeah, me too.
I just remember Johnny Depp
That was
being
when I
very
was a
pale.
teenager. That was when I was a teenager. You think I'm gonna remember that? Well, I've seen something I seen once
Willie
as a
can't even
teenager.
remember what he did yesterday.
I hung out with my buddy Phil.
Speaking of, let's get into what I'm into. It's a chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been doing, so that maybe, just maybe, you might want to check them out yourselves. So, Willie, you hung out with your buddy Phil. What else you been getting
Yeah, I was
into?
gonna say I'll retroactively start. I hung out with my buddy Phil. Played Avengers Beta. Got back. I've been a while since I played Dead by Daylight a bit because other things kind of taken over, like Ghost of Tsushima, Fall Guys. Still playing some Wreckfest. A lot of games all at once are kind of coming in, so Dead by Daylight's kind of pulling back at the wayside, if you will. But I started playing some of that, and I'm still damn good. I am still.
Have you noticed any difference in the matchmaking?
It's so much quicker with the crossplay. I haven't really noticed anything like, oh, killers are better or anything yet. I'm sure once I go first time I go against a PC nurse, which has not happened yet, I will know the difference. Although my buddy I usually play with, he is the best console nurse player I've ever seen. Like when we do like kill your friends or custom matches,
Yeah.
like he is the best. Like I'm blown away every time. Like Jesus, you're too good, man.
As I tried after the update, was supposedly the new MMR system, whatever the fuck it is, that's supposed to fix the matchmaking, and it was fucking garbage.
Oh no! From what I hear, they took that down. Like that is non-existent.
Well,
right
no,
now.
I mean the day that it went up. Like I tried it. My fucking killer has dropped down to rank 17. 4 out of my 5 matches had at least 3 red ranks in it. Like, how the fuck, as a rank 17 killer, are you supposed to get anything done against rank 1s? Like, it was shit. So yeah, I don't know if they're gonna redo some of the matchmaking or whatever with the new crossplay shit, but yeah, I tried it the day that new system was installed, and it was god awful. I had 1 match out of 5 where the survivors were the same rank as me.
I will give you that. My only thing is, like with me, like I play with a bunch of like people that sometimes play, so they're like rank 17 as well, and I'm right here. I am a rank 2 or a 1, and so it kind of messes up with it, like depending on. And I don't play with them so I can play against less ranked killers. I play with them because I want to talk to them and have a fun time, as I'm playing. That's why I do survive with friends. So when people say I hate survival friend groups, like I don't play because I play with a group that are good. I play with a group because I have fun playing with them.
Yeah, but also when we do survive with friends, I'm assuming that the killer is going to be your rank, not mine. And when you're going in as rank 1, I'm assuming I'm going to be facing a rank 1, 2, 3, or 4 killer that's going to kick my ass. When it's a rank 17 killer, I feel bad.
You do have a point there, but also I think it's a part of like skill, but it's also a part of play styles. I've been saying this a long time, like play styles. Like it could be a rank 17 killer. I've lost to them. Their play style just counteracts how I normally play.
Yeah, well, they've
so
also
well.
about ranking per killer.
Yeah,
having one rank for all of your killers is insane because you might be great as Oni doesn't mean you can play the Plague.
Yeah, that's also true because I mean, survivors they don't matter because it doesn't matter what they're just. You can have all perks for anything.
Yeah, survivors are just
once you get
skins.
to a certain
Killers
level,
are completely different and play differently. A great Ghostface killer may not be able to even play fucking Leatherface.
And when I say play styles, I don't mean like their powers, like their individual like powers.
No, the way they run with the killer and hunt.
Yeah, like how they move through it, how they counteract, like how they think they see you like where you're going, they can counteract. Like, all right, they're going this way, they're probably going to double back over here, so I'm going to trick them. That kind of thing. That's what I mean, like the mental part to it. And I've been decimated by just like lower ranked or higher ranked, rank 15 and above. Let's say that I've been decimated by them, and it's like I understand. Like I'm like, well, goddamn, that sucks, but here I am. But I'm all right with it. I never get angry about it, except for face camping tunnelers. Although I've been playing with somebody, it's like this dude's tunneling me. Like you didn't just get pulled off a hook, man. That's not what tunneling means, man. You keep saying this. You keep saying this word. I don't think it means what you think it means. It's not tunneling, but I just tell them that I'm not angry. Like, dude, it's not tunneling. I'm not saying that. I'm like, it's not really what that means. But yeah, Wreckfest has still been fun. The Demolition Derby racing game. I have learned to turn off the in-game music, and I made my own Spotify playlist, and I play that through the PlayStation, so it all comes through. It's so great when you're just racing over there, and all of a sudden you hear, "Move, bitch, get out the way." That makes it so much better. And also, I also started doing that with Fall Guys as well. That same song works for it as well. Or also have some Leonard Skinner, or not Leonard Skinner, Molly Hatchet. Is that Leonard Skinner? They Call Me the Breeze. That is Leonard Skinner. Yeah. Getting them
Move
mixed up.
Bitch works for pretty much anything. Luda came up with an anthem right there. That song just bangs.
Yeah, waiting in line at the DMV. Move, bitch. Get out of the way.
Yep.
Although I've only had positive DMV experiences in the last couple of years. Like the DMV, I've never really had to wait more than 15 minutes.
I can do everything
Nice.
online nowadays, so I don't even have to go to the DMV. Or at the Sheetz
I've had
gas
to go
stations, they have little
physically go.
kiosks that you can use there.
I'm
instead
sorry,
of
what?
having to go in. Kiosks.
No, where?
Sheetz gas stations.
Fucking Sheets. I love Sheets so much.
Isn't Sheetz
I'm
delightful?
sorry, Bachman. Sheets is the greatest. Like I know the first time I said like food at a gas station. Why would I want to get this?
So
But the way
damn
they have it
good.
set up, it works. It just works. Everything is made to order. They don't make it till you order it, and that's the part of the greatness to it.
And if you
Then
want, cheap, good hot dogs, 2 for $1 hot dogs.
And they're not bad hot dogs. They're pretty good hot dogs. I mean, I don't get them anymore. But I mean, because I usually get the crispy chicken slider sandwiches
Ooh, yeah.
With the boom boom sauce on it
Yeah.
and some pickles, some
God.
Old Bay seasoning.
I
thrown
used
on there
to,
too.
when I was actually going to the office, I drove by a Sheetz right outside the main gate every day. It was troubling when I would be like, I want Sheetz, must fight urge, no Sheetz.
I used to for a business I used to work for. I used to deliver to like one of like main hubs or something.
Nice.
And they kind of had an outside they had like a building attached to the building.
Mhm.
The main building was like like a Sheetz kitchen. I was like, can I
Ooh.
just walk in there just off the street, just order something for lunch? Because that seems awesome. I know there's a Sheetz right down the road, but I mean, I'm right here.
Do you have Sheetz
I'm already
near
here.
you in North Carolina?
Yeah, the Sheetz are everywhere here on here.
Okay, I wasn't sure how far they
Oh
extend
yeah,
to.
I know they're a Pennsylvania company originally, right? I believe so.
Pennsylvania or West Virginia, I can't remember.
I think they got started in Pennsylvania. Yeah, they're down here. That's why I'm sorry, Bachman. If you come over to the East Coast and the place, try Sheetz and try the food. It is good. It's best. It's delicious fast food.
Let me put it this way:
Fast
where I live in Morgantown, West Virginia. Where WVU is, almost every exit in which you get to Morgantown, there is a Sheetz at that exit. In fact, one of those exits,
Dang.
there is a bridge, and on each side of the bridge, on opposite sides of the road, there is a Sheetz. Because some other gas station was going to buy the land when Long John Silver's burnt down, and Sheetz went, yeah, about that. Nah. And then they bought it. So there is a Sheetz that you can literally go out in the parking lot, look across the road, and be like, hey, there's a Sheetz over there.
I can see the Sheetz from the Sheetz.
I can see the Sheetz from Sheetz. Yeah, exactly.
Lovely.
So,
And, like, it is
hey,
great.
Sheetz,
Just
sponsor
great.
us. Send me an email or send me a DM. You can sponsor this great podcast. 2 out of the 3 hosts have been to Sheetz and love it. 1 out of the 3, I'm sure, would be happy to take free Sheetz swag.
True.
Or I mean, I would love just some.
I like a hot dog.
some free.
I'm so old though. I remember
vouchers
going to
for
the
food.
stinker station and getting hot dogs 4 for $1 before we went to the pool or
Ooh.
headed out to the lake.
And
Yeah.
how long ago was that?
That was in the 80 somethings.
All right, inflation, man.
Yeah.
Inflation.
So 2020, you can get 2 hot dogs at Sheetz for $1.
Yeah.
But if you want
2
chili,
for
it's
$1,
an extra.
that's not bad.
If you want
And a
chili, it's
lot
an
of
extra 29
freebies
cents a
on top.
dog, though.
They have a lot of freebie options on top
That
too.
is true. You can get yourself what I do when I do the 2 for $1: ketchup, mustard, sweet relish. Call it a day.
Hell yeah.
Some sauerkraut.
I'm not a big sauerkraut fan of hot dogs, but neither here nor there. I kind of want to go to Sheetz now, and there's one that's like a 2-minute drive from my house. So that might be lunch after we're done with the show. What else are we get into, Willie?
Besides those games, I haven't watched any new movies, even though I need to. I got a stack of it. I need to see like Jojo Rabbit. I haven't
You
watched.
watched a movie, you liar.
No, I haven't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have.
I-
On Netflix, you watched a movie.
Oh yes, you remind. I forgot I watched that Project Power.
Yeah, well, Drasman also brought it up in the chat. And I told him we would talk about it in the what we're getting into. So,
I
yeah.
completely forgot. I don't think that the movie's forgettable. I mean, I want to say the ending kind of was all right. Not gonna say what happened or anything, but I mean, the ending was all right. I mean, the movie was good. I think I was expecting a little bit more from it. It seems like they pulled their punches some kind of ways.
I think that's
but,
all
it's good.
budgetary.
Yeah, I mean, it's a probably fine movie to watch, especially on Netflix. If you already have Netflix, you don't spend anything more. It's good. Jamie Foxx is a good actor, genuinely. So is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I will say there is one part where the young girl, I can't remember her name. Do you remember her name off the top of your head?
No, I'll look
There's
it up.
there's a scene where she starts rapping in the class in a daydream, and I was like, oh, this is so cringy. Oh, this hurts. It's so cringy because it feels so forced. Oh my god. I mean, I get it. You're rapping, but you're rapping as like an attack, and I was like, oh, it hurts.
That was also a daydream, and when she did the actual rap later, it was much better.
Oh, with her and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
I don't know why I was gonna say Jamie Lee Fox.
Jamie Lee Foxx.
Like
It's,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Dominic Fishback.
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays Robin.
She can flow her words very nicely. Of course, it is in a studio setting where you can cut and all that stuff. I'm not taking that away from her. I'm just saying it's probably much easier where you can do it better like that. You're much more freer.
Yeah, you
it
need
just
to
felt
choose
cringy
the
every
good
time.
take.
to me personally, I know it's probably just a problem with me. I found both those things just cringy to me. Like it's like, oh, okay, it hurt, it's cringy, but that's probably a problem to me. I'm not saying everyone's gonna have the problem. It's probably a personal problem. It's issue. It's just like it just felt cringy, but the movie's good. Jamie Lee Fox is great in the movie. I don't know why my brain still wants to say that.
Jamie Lee Curtis is a different person.
I know.
Them
My
together.
brain keeps wanting to say that. I don't
very
know
different
why.
person.
They don't even look alike.
Oh, are you sure about that? I don't see color.
I don't know. I heard Jamie Lee
I
Curtis
don't
was
see
cast as
gender
the new
or
Spawn.
Spawn? Really?
No, Jamie Foxx is.
Jamie Foxx? I didn't know they were doing that. I didn't
Yeah.
hear that.
No, it's
Nice.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Willie. She's the new
Yeah,
Spawn.
Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be the new Al Simmons.
You know what? With her fucking attitude from that last Halloween movie, I can
do
see
it,
she could
yeah.
pass it off. Yes, she could pass it off. What was
She
the
is a
wife's-
badass. She is
what
a
was
badass.
Spawn's
wife's name?
Oh,
Because I know he kept crawling her. Oh!
yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember. I was just trying to take a picture of Jamie Lee Curtis yelling that out. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, she could pull it off. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, Jamie Foxx awesome. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's awesome. I forget her name. Fish something
Yeah,
like that.
Dominic Fishback.
Dominic, yeah, she's great. She's great in it too. Just that the rapping scenes just cringe me, but yeah, it's a good movie. Very good movie.
That's fair. Sounds like you've been busy, Willie.
And yeah, anything else? Nothing that sticks out. Play some Fall Guys. I did get the trophy for winning 20 times, 20 episodes.
Ooh.
I just got that last night.
Don't get eliminated, Willie.
Hey, it's hard to eliminate this Willie.
Mm-hmm. Gross. All right, I'll go next.
That wasn't even trying to do a dirty joke.
I don't know if it was actually or not.
So
I just figured I'd say gross
that
and
was
move
on you.
on. It was all on me. I
that
fully admit
sounds
it.
like you.
I know. It was me.
You deflated the penis joke. I got it.
All right, I'm going to go next with my news. I finished Jim Ross's latest biography, Under the Black Hat, I think is what it's called. I can't remember the title of it, but good old JR from WWF, Willie. That's who we're talking about, if you weren't realizing.
I know I was going to do a joke, but I was like, nope, that's going to be way too dark. I'm not going to touch that.
That's probably just as well. Other stuff I'm getting into, played the Avengers Beta, or, yeah, I guess it is beta. I wanted to say demo for some reason, but it's effectively a beta that could be considered a demo by many. We shared our feelings on that earlier. Was reading another book that I forget the title of right now. I didn't watch a ton of TV this week, but I was wanting to watch a movie yesterday, and I wanted I've seen it before or something just to enjoy. So I went back and rewatched Infinity War because I really enjoyed that movie. And here's Chris Farrell's hot take, and I'm sure people won't like it. Infinity War is a better movie than Endgame, but Endgame is more of a spectacle. I'm not saying Endgame is bad. I'm saying that you get a better story and a better film, the way the storytelling and stuff is done, I think, in Infinity War than you do in Endgame. I really enjoy
Well, Endgame is a 22 film bookend.
Yeah,
like
pretty
it's
much.
it's a conclusion. It's
And
not.
I don't mean
the
that
start
to
of
sound
it.
bad. I think it's more of we underlook how good Infinity War is now that Endgame has come out because of the spectacle. Oh my God, this is incredible. Infinity War is a really good movie. Don't forget that. The Russo brothers make good movies in the MCU. I look forward to seeing some of their next projects because they make good stuff. That's my hot take.
And they made the tiny guy the biggest guy.
Right.
I mean, they didn't do that.
Yeah, they did. They chose to make the tiniest guy the biggest guy, which is awesome.
I mean, I'm sure the comics did it way before they did.
I don't know if the dwarfs that actually made the hammers and stuff were actually like giant dwarfs. I don't remember in the
either.
comics if they were.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ant-Man.
No.
No.
Talk about Tyrion Lannister being 80 feet tall.
I'll give you that.
Which is just awesome.
Yes, I feel like the dumbo now. Go on, I'll mute myself
What else have I
again.
been getting into? Played a little bit of Dragon Quest. And I honestly don't know what's going on half the time anymore just because everything's the same each week. I come down in the morning, I go to work, I get done with work, I go do a couple chores around the house, I cook dinner, and then the process starts again until the day my alarm doesn't go off, which means I don't have to come down to the basement to do work. I don't know what's
But
going
at
on
least
anymore.
every time you start off Dragon Quest, it gives you a little recap.
That I love, and more games
Yes.
need that, especially as I've come to realize that back in the day, a game like that, I would just mainline it and play for hours a day and knock it out in a couple weeks. Now we're at a point where I'm like, if I got to play for an hour in one day, it's a good day. And I love the fact that when you load your save game, it basically gives you, here's the story up till now. More games need that because those kind of in-depth, engrossing RPGs, if you don't keep playing them, you're going to forget what's happened. In theory, you could stop playing the game, pick it up 6 months from now, and be able to remember, oh, here's where I was.
That's this guy.
Yeah. Willie, you
If
need
I
that
pick it
for
up,
just
I'm
like
not-
a week. And you're like, what happened?
All right, now I'm not.
You're
that
the one that said you
bad.
got bad. What is it?
Memory?
Yeah, thank you.
No, fuck you.
Got a bad what's the
You know what?
call?
Fuck you
What's the
too,
call?
Bachman.
What's
For
that
whatever you
word?
say,
What's-
fuck
what's
you
the
too.
call?
Oh, come
What's
on,
the
that was
call?
good. You got to give me some credit there. I did that one pretty good.
No, because I saw it coming.
What, you didn't see this coming?
What? You didn't see that?
Keep on going with your fucking weak.
That's all I've been
Shit.
getting into that I can think of. Let's toss things over to Bachman. What you getting into, buddy?
Is it? Yeah, I retried some of the Dead by Daylight stuff. I haven't gotten back on since all the crossplay went live because I'm pretty much just fucking done with that game. It's bugging the shit out of me. I might give it another chance, but I'm pretty damn sure I'm never buying their battle pass again. So I was honestly having two different games where I was working on a battle pass I was paying for was starting to aggravate me anyway. So I'll keep paying for the Apex one and I'll just play fucking Dead by Daylight for free because I'm not giving them any more money because that game aggravates the shit out of me. Looking forward to the Apex Legends Season 6 starting on Tuesday. They just announced they showed the gameplay and the actual trailer just came out for the new character Rampart, which looks fucking crazy. She's got a crazy gun. She's fucking got shields and stuff. We got the new season coming out on Tuesday. Like, it's just more fun. And they showed some new suits that are coming in the new Battle Pass, which look fucking wicked. There's a Bloodhound suit that everybody's calling NASCAR Bloodhound that just looks fucking cool. Looks like he's sponsored by the gods. He just looks awesome. So yeah, looking forward to more Apex. I've done a little bit of Fall Guys, but I haven't played much. And then yeah, did a bunch of the Avengers Beta. But yeah, I have yet to get a win on Fall Guys. I've gotten like 3 or 4 trophies though.
Willie will teach you.
I
how
got
to
the
do
one
it.
for falling down 10 times on your face and then still qualifying in the race, which that was a fun one to get.
I got that accidentally.
Oh yeah, I think you get all the trophies in that game accidentally just by playing.
Well,
eventually.
pretty much. Well, there's one trophy that you really have to earn. That's win 5 episodes. It's getting first place 5 times in a row.
That I will never ever do.
I don't think I'll ever do. Hell, I did 2 in a row yesterday for the first time. I was like, oh my god, this should have been the trophy.
Yeah,
And of course, didn't do it a third time.
Fall Guys is some good dumb fun. Like just running around as little jelly bean characters, get knocked over and playing weird random games. But yeah, been enjoying that. And then yeah, still slowly just going as slow as I can through Ghost of Tsushima just to enjoy it. And I'll be goddamn if I don't just enjoy like playing my flute and riding around on my horse in the woods. It's the new version of web swinging in Spider-Man, except with Ghost of Tsushima, I don't even have to ignore crimes. Because, like, if I see Mongol hordes up the road, I can just turn my horse and go back into the woods and
Yeah, they're not
choose
doing
not
anything.
to fight them. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to go play my flute. Like,
Now, would
it's
you say-
so relaxing.
Would you say this is your game of the year so far in the year?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely so far. Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is game of the year, hands down. Yeah. It's so enjoyable. I mean, there's been big updates on games that I love. Like, the stuff that they've done for Apex this year is awesome. The additions that they've done to No Man's Sky are utterly fantastic. Like, I mean, they added basically, what is that, Dead Space? They basically added the Dead Space horror game to No Man's Sky by adding derelict freighters. They added a horror movie aspect to, what was already a fantastic game. But yeah, for a brand new game, I haven't played anything as good as Ghost of Tsushima this year. And then, I got through a couple of books. I read the first 3 trades of Mech Cadet U by Greg Pak, which is awesome. The guy that wrote Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. It's like his version of like a Voltron world. Kids that go to this academy get trained, and then these robots randomly appear. Like, I think it's every 2 years, and they pick a pilot. Basically, the robots land. They don't speak English, but they pick a pilot to bond with, and it ends up being that the year that the story starts, the kid that's a janitor that works there with his mom, who's like head of janitorial services, he ends up finding a crashed robot on his way home one day because the 3 robots that were supposed to show up, only 2 of them appear. He finds one and helps it, and then that robot ends up bonding with him. So then you get a main character who hasn't been trained as a cadet, has no idea what the hell he's doing, but the robot bonds with him, so they're stuck. He has to be a new pilot. And so, it's 3 trades into that. It's a fantastic series. Really like kid friendly, really family friendly. Like, it's a good one, like an all ages book would work just fine. And then of course they end up fighting giant like monster bugs. So it's giant robots, giant bugs. Like, can't go wrong with that.
Starship Troopers.
Kind of. But it's kids inside giant robots, which and it's done really well. The artwork on it is also really solid. It's a fun book. And then watch Project Power, which I think the only thing that pulls back on that movie was done for budgetary restraints. It's a reason that the superpowers only last 5 minutes, and the reason that like the end isn't like a world-ending battle. It's because you got very limited superpowers, so that you can do a 2-hour movie and not have to have a $200 million budget, which I also think could also be due to the fact that the main cast was Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which was probably a good chunk of their budget right there. But it was a super enjoyable movie. You can see that it's totally set up to be like a franchise if it does well on Netflix, if they get enough eyes on it. So it'll be cool to see if they do another one. If they do, it'll be cool to see which direction the story goes, because it's very set up to where like it could spin off one way or the other. But like I could see him doing like a trilogy of Project Power movies. And honestly, just the concept where anybody who takes these pills, it gives you a superpower. But it's not the pill deciding what your superpower is. It's your own DNA. So the pills themselves are basically just like a catalyst. It makes whatever your internal superpower would be come to life. And so when people take the pills, they have no idea what's going to happen to them the first time. And it's funny because, like, I want to see how did Joseph Gordon-Levitt find out what his power was, because you can't see it. So he ends up having a great power, but if you didn't know what it was, how would you test that? And it's just something where, like, in this world, like, it's a crazy idea where, like, if you get a power that doesn't visually change your body, how do you test what your superpower is? Like, there's some weird shit to be going on. And the invisible dude that they have in the movie, the way the chameleon abilities work was pretty cool, because it's a very strange sequence. And man, what is it with all these weird invisible naked people running around, man? Why is it always got to be weird naked people? Oh yeah, and for some odd reason I saw that, and then that made me think of it. I went and I watched the new Invisible Man movie, and then that made me remember I hadn't seen Hollow Man in years, so I went back and watched Hollow Man on Amazon Prime. Kevin Bacon is fucking psychotic in that movie. I forgot how fucking creepy he is. It's been so many years since I've seen that film. I forgot how insanely creepy he is in that movie.
You're saying creepy. I'm going to say he's very rapey.
Oh, yeah. You get very rapey for sure. But I mean, even at the beginning of the movie, he's creepy. Like, he starts creepy and just gets worse. The new one, though, the new Invisible Man one, that one was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The concept of how they came up with the invisibility in this one, I really enjoyed, because it wasn't. It was a very different version than the take of Hollow Man. So I liked how they did it. The new Invisible Man movie was actually pretty good.
I do have a question back to Hollow Man. Like the CGI artists, they literally had to make a boob move by an invisible hand get squeezed. That was so weird.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
of
did
course,
some
I had some
weird-
one scene I remember.
Yeah, of course, yeah. They did some weird stuff in that movie, but yeah, like it was. Yeah, I forgot fucking Josh Brolin was in it. I forgot Greg Grunberg was in it. Like I forgot half the cast. I only remembered Elizabeth Shue and Kevin Bacon.
I forgot Invisible Gorilla was in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the creepy stages. And it's weird though, because just script wise, I love the idea that the whole conceit of it was that it wasn't hard at all to make something invisible. They come at it with the idea that no, phase shifting out of reality, instant. We figured out instantly. It's super easy. Getting people back is the hard part. It's like, okay, that's a different fucking take. Like that was a kind of a cool idea. Yeah, and I saw they had because there's Hollow Man 2 with Christian Slater, but it's not available for free on Prime. So I was like, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah,
But I kind of want to watch it.
You're not worth it, Christian Slater.
Oh, and then I watched the first season of Twilight Zone on the
thank God you
CBS
said
All
Zone.
Access.
Thank God
That-
you said Zone.
No, yeah, Twilight Zone. That is some good shit. Every time Jordan Peele does the narrator thing, does his Rod Serling impression and says the Twilight Zone, it sends fucking shivers down my spine. I love the fact that Jordan Peele got to do this show because you can tell this dude loves horror and sci-fi and loves it in a way that was not evident watching Key and Peele. Because yeah, it's so not Key and Peele that it's almost creepy. But yeah, the new Twilight Zone is awesome. I powered through the first season. I started the second season last night. There's so many really good actors and great concepts.
What's it
Really
on?
cool takes. It's the CBS All Access.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, which that part of it sucks, but yeah,
Yep, never gonna see it.
If you have availability, definitely give that a try because yeah, it is fucking so good. I can't. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be watching more of that tonight. Like I've been watching 1 or 2 episodes before I go to bed each night, and it's a solid show. Yeah, that's what I've been getting into.
Well, cool. I think that we are about to shut things down then. So before we do that, big thank you to everyone that did join us live today. Thank you so much for doing that. A friendly reminder, we do stream this show live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over on Geeks.live, the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. While you're there, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page. There's a calendar of upcoming live events. I'm not sure when the next live show is because normally it'd be the GonnaGeek.com show, but we're taking Monday off. So check the calendar. Come check out some other live content. Have some fun with it. Before we shut things down, you guys have any final parting thoughts or anything like that?
It should have been called the Incredible Butt Wonderstone.
Oh, we're back on that. I'd forgotten all about that.
Wow.
I said what I said.
Support the post office.
Go buy stamps.
Yeah.
We all need stamps. That's all we got for you. Go buy stamps. It's good things. On that note, we're getting out of here, and we will see you guys next week for another brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.